Blake Lively wants to go through Justin Baldoni's phone for...
Even though they're not married.
Even though they're not married, they're not dating, and yet she still wants to go through his phone because she believes that there is evidence there, evidence of the alleged smear campaign against her. This is part of her lawsuit. She's suing him for not only sexual harassment, but for
retaliation. And I think that's the reason she says she wants to go through the cell phone to see if there are vindictive messages.
Right, and I guess this started with the text messages that she already put in her lawsuit, the text messages between Justin's PR crisis team, where they said things like they were out to bury or destroy Blake's career. So she thinks there's more evidence there. So she has now subpoenaed 3 different cell phone carriers, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon.
And she wants to go back a long, long way.
More than 2 years. So basically, since they started working on this movie together, and she wants the cell phone records not only for Justin, but his 2 publicists, Jennifer Abel, Melissa Nathan, the co-founder of his Wayfarer Studios, another crisis manager, and a producer.
Revisit this whole thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago, about this is feeling less and less like a legal case and more like a PR case on both sides.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it shows that, but the reality is here that these are 2 people who ultimately didn't get along, disliked each other.
Right.
The PR people did what PR people do, and they want to now let all of that stuff surface, which is, in some respects, the way Hollywood works. We know that. We know that.
I would agree with you unless there actually was sexual harassment.
Well, I want to separate that
part.
Right, and I want to separate that part. But the phone thing, to me, is more about the retaliation part, which is more about the way Hollywood works.
Yes, so this is what Blake's lawyer said about these subpoenas. They said Ms. Lively has initiated discovery that will expose the people, tactics, and methods that have worked to destroy and bury her reputation and family over the past year. So, Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's attorney, reacted, I think, to your point, exactly how you would expect him to react to these subpoenas. He said, they are asking for every single call, text, data log, and even real-time location information for the past 2.5 years, regardless of the sender, recipient, or subject matter. This massive phishing expedition demonstrates that they are desperately seeking any factual basis for their provably false claims. They will find none.
Justin Baldoni's positioning in this case has been, I'm showing all of the receipts. So if Blake Lively's team says, I want to see all the receipts, I'm going to go on my own fishing expedition and look through all of the receipts, he can't really take that position with a straight face. By, you know, his whole mode in this is, let's open it all up.
You're right. Now the question, is that more of a legal thing or a PR thing?
This case is a PR case at this point, but they're using the tools of litigation, which is fascinating to me because subpoenas allow you to have the power to get these documents. So we're seeing litigation tools used for PR purposes. It's fascinating.
Right. All of which adds up to no trial.
No trial.
Samantha, Ohio. It's giving invasion of privacy. I don't even feel that comfortable going through my boyfriend's phone. So I don't know. At this point, Blake and Justin both just need to drop it. Forget about it ends with us and forget about Colleen Hoover.
Can I tell you who really supports your position?
Me.
Your boyfriend.
Yeah, your boyfriend.
Your boyfriend.
And lots of other people in here who were applauding when you said you don't want to go through your boyfriend's phone.
Okay.
It's to ASAP Rocky and the getting down to the close of his assault trial. I'd say he brought the big guns to court today, but that probably doesn't really sound right considering what he is accused of.
He brought the big... I'm sorry, you're right.
Right.
Didn't know that.
But he metaphorically brought the big guns to court. Not only Rihanna, his longtime partner, who has been in court for several days during this trial, but she brought backup, little backup, as in their kids, RZA and Riot, who were carried on their way into court, rainy day here in LA, but they will be sitting there in the gallery behind Rocky as the jury is hearing the closing arguments.
You do not need a JD to understand the significance of this, that Rihanna and her 2 kids are going to be sitting there as the jury looks at them and says, do we want to
break
convict
up
this
this
guy
family unit
of a crime where he could go to prison until these kids are adults? Do we want to do that?
Yeah, and we've seen this kind of tactic happen before. Remember when Tory Lanez was in court for his trial, his 5-year-old son was brought to court by his baby mama. And, you know, he had even said, like, he kind of wanted it for, like, sympathy, you know, to show, like, the people that are in the jury, like, look, I have a family. I am a father. I'm trying to be a role model to my children. So
that one didn't work great.
Yeah.
That didn't work,
he's
that didn't work
serving a
great.
10-year prison sentence, so that
Rocky
didn't work
hope
very well.
It goes differently. But, yeah, there's no... Listen, Rihanna being there throughout the trial, we've said it,
It
has some impact.
It has a
and
big impact.
having the kids there.
It really
got an
does.
impact. And that's not to say, like, if he is acquitted, that's not to say that it's only because of the kids, because there's been plenty of testimony that is raised more, at least some in court have said that they think that a reasonable doubt has been raised.
Right. And you know, I guess the way to put it is that with Rihanna and the kids there, the jury may give them the benefit of reasonable doubt.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's kind of the situation that the optics
That's why they're there, right? Like, if you're on the border and you're
exactly why
not
they're
sure
there.
which way to go.
And you look at them, do I really want to separate this family?
Hey, Shiv here from Toledo. I think they're a power family, a unit. Rihanna dressed in all black, showing the depth of this case. They always have each other's back. The difference between Tory Lanez and this is that Rihanna and A$AP have always been together. I've always seen them on the news, like social media and the news and all this. So I just think that, like, this is a little bit different in this case, that they just have each other's back now.
Yeah, I mean, they do. And tomorrow we're going to have their lawyer, or his lawyer, Joe Tecopina, on TMZ Live, and we're going to get into all of this. Okay, we're taking a break.
When we come back, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Yes, it is still going, and now she wants to go through his phone. Hand me that thing. What's going on in that phone? And not just since this summer, not since the movie came out. I'm going to tell you how far back she wants his phone records and a slew of other people involved with this movie and the publicity around this movie.